Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are gonna quickly do a book unhaul. I'm gonna try and make it snappy. I don't really have a lot to say about these books. They just didn't work for me for one reason or another. I hope they work for the next person, but I have a local bookstore here that will hopefully buy these books from me for store credit. I haven't been book shopping at all this year, and it's already February 7th, so I'm doing very good. I also am trying really hard to get to TBR 0. I only have 46 books left on my TBR to read in 2026, unless I go spend a bunch of money and spend a bunch of credit to buy new books, which I'm gonna try really hard not to do, except for books that I've already read, or books that are technically already on my TBR but not my physical TBR. Like, I'm going to be reading them anyway. Although what I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing is getting my physical TBR to 0, and then that way I can utilize libraries and things, and when I read a book that I really like, I can allow myself to go buy it. I have a list of like 30-ish books that I would like to own because I've already read them and love them, but they're not part of my trophy collection yet. So that's kind of what 2026 is about. I'm going to quickly go through these. For one reason or another, these books didn't work for me. Let's start with the two puzzles that I have here. I tried to be a puzzle girly, and it's harder than I thought it would be to get into puzzles. I just don't have the time right now, and if I wanted to try puzzling again, I would get a puzzle that's not 1,000 pieces. I would cheat and get like 300 to 400 pieces probably, but I don't know. Then the complete drawing course, I haven't been interested in that in a long time. The Opposite of Fate. Honestly, this one I'm not even reading. For Twice in My Life by Annette Christie, I read and that was okay. Where He Can't Find You, I did not like. Warm Bodies. Okay, I've bought this like 3 times, and at one point or another I had started reading it and had DNF'd it. Then I bought it again because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna really like it. I like the movie. I'm just never gonna read that. The Hysterical Girls of St. Bernadette's. This was back in my Pango days. Pango Books days. One of the people that I bought from had put this in there. It was like a freebie. I am not interested. Past Perfect Lives by Elizabeth Urrig. I don't like young adult books anymore. Then I have One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. I've DNF'd this twice, so it's gone. A Judgment in Stone by Ruth Rundell. I'm not interested in this one. Ghost Radio by Leopoldo Golt. I did not love. Room to Breathe by Liz Talley. I'm never gonna read that. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I DNF'd, and I know that that's an unpopular opinion, but I didn't like it. Meet Cute. I had an idea where I was gonna read one of these each day. I did read the first one, but then I realized that this is a collection of young adult romance, and young adult romance icks me out. I don't like watching teenagers like doing, never mind, it doesn't matter. Too Good to Be Real by Melanie Johnson. I don't remember that one. Hearts on Thin Ice by Katie Kennedy. That was boring. Surrey, Who Am I? This was alright, but I didn't love it. The Night She Went Missing by Kristen Bird. I actually kind of enjoyed this, but it was a little bit slow, a little bit boring. Misconduct by Penelope Douglas. I'm not gonna kid myself. The End of Her by Sherry Lapina. There's gonna be more Sherry Lapina in here. I just haven't really loved her stuff. Suddenly a Murderer. Again, young adults. Not my thing. Oh, actually, I'm really excited for this series. This is the Will Trent Fractured series. This is the Will Trent series. This is Fractured by Karen Slaughter. I believe this is like the 3rd or the 4th book in the series, but I don't read mass market paperback. I am interested in reading this series at some point though. Then there's Save Me. I did not like. The Red Thread, I didn't even read. Never Planned on You. This was alright. I just was left feeling not swoony, so I don't want it. A Stranger in the House. Sherry Lapina's books are just very forgettable to me. Summer Official. This was sent to me, and I don't read young adult. It Will Just Be Us by Joe Kaplan. I don't remember anything about that one. Divergent. I already have a series. I have the Divergent series somewhere else over there. I might just put this on my children's shelves. Then we have All the Men I've Loved Again. Didn't like it. Definitely better now. Didn't like it. It's also like addiction and things, so I think for the right person it would be really good, but I'm not the right person. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I never really got into John Green. I like the movie version of The Fault in the Stars, but I did not love the books. And I'm never gonna read Turtles All the Way Down. We all know, at least we should all know, that when you unhaul books and you sell them to a bookstore, you could get cash for it, but generally speaking, you get 3 times as much if you choose book credit at the bookstore, which is equivalent to free books. So I went to this bookstore and got free books, but I didn't have to use my gift card that I got for Christmas. And Barnes and Noble was just up the street from the lunch place that we were at, and I went there too. I was going to just have this be my unhaul video, and then I was going to do a different video for the haul part, but you know what? We're already here. You've already seen this outfit, and I'm not ashamed at this. So my goal at the end of this year is still to have a physical TBR of 0, but honestly, that's not gonna help my audiobook collection. That's not gonna help my Kindle collection, and I want to read everything. Okay, maybe not everything. That's an exaggeration, but my main goal is still to get 1,000 books that I've read, that I've loved, that I could recommend, and count that as my library. I'm on my way there, but I still have quite a bit to go. So, some of these books that we are about to talk about are going to be added to my trophy collection of all the books that I've read and that I've loved, but that I don't have a physical book for. some of these books are going to be added to the dreaded TBR. So I will for sure insert the numbers right here on how many books I actually have on my TBR. I think it's 55 now because I think I got 8 books to add to my TBR. And then I got 6 books, I believe, to add to my my trophy list. Let's start here. Bookmans. Most of these are novels that I've heard of that have been on my TBR for a bit. This one is one that I hadn't heard of until today. And here we are. Just hanging out. Here we are. Okay, 2023. This is People to Follow by Olivia Worley. So here's the thing. I am scared of this one because it says 10 influencers, 10 secrets, 1 dead body. This reminds me a lot of the Darcy Coates book that I read in December. I didn't like that one, but I also really like The Circle. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's such a guilty pleasure of mine, but they have contestants go into this house called The Circle, and some of them are catfishers, like they're catfishing on the internet, and some of them are actually being themselves, but they have these challenges online and you don't really meet anyone from the house until the end, or from The Circle, and it's fun. So this one says, welcome to In Real Life, the hot new reality show that forces social media's reigning kings and queens to unplug for 3 weeks and go live without any filters. In Real Life is supposed to be the opportunity of a lifetime, watched closely by leagues of loyal followers. But for these rising stars, including LD, an Instagram model with an impulsive streak, Kira, a child star turned fitness influencer, Logan, a disgraced TikTok celeb with a secret, and Max, a YouTuber famous for exposés on his fellow creators. It's about to turn into a nightmare. So that sounds really good. I just hope it's executed well. Okay. Then I got The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This came out in 2024. She is chunky. She is a chunky queen. Oh, okay, not even 500 pages, but I mean, she looks pretty big. So, when a teenager vanishes from her Aerodac summer camp, 2 worlds collide. Early morning, August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laer, has gone missing. But I found Long Bright River by Liz Moore, and I read this several years ago at this point. A couple of years ago. I don't know. I think it's been a while. I think I read it in like 2023, 2022. Well, it came out in 2020, so that would make sense. I usually don't buy or read brand new releases, so it's probably 2021, 2022. But I really enjoyed this. The sisterhood in here is phenomenal. I love the characters. It's like, there's things about addiction, which is something that I've always wanted to, I mean, not really, but it says 2 sisters travel the same streets, though their lives couldn't be more different. Then one of them goes missing. And this follows the other sister who goes looking for her sister, and there's like lots of things. One of them is a cop. One of them is a drug addict. And you just spiral into this dark world of drugs and allure and cops. But not all cops are created equal. Like, some of them are not good, like not nice, like there's corruption in the system. And this one that I've already read and I've really enjoyed it, so that's why I got this. This is one that I've already read. I actually bought this entire series in paperback. So we have The Kiss Quotient, The Bride Test, and The Heart Principle, all by Helen Wong. I've loved all three of these. Like, I adore these. I especially love The Kiss Quotient. It would probably be The Kiss Quotient, then The Heart Principle, then The Bride Test for me. But I got this series. Then our next one is one that's added to my TBR. This one I had never heard of, but I saw it and I read the back and it sounds so good. So this is Rush Week by Michelle Brandon. From mean girls who will stop at nothing to secure their place in the undercurrents of ambition and betrayal, the story pulls back the curtain on a secret world where the price of belonging can be more than these college girls ever bargained for. See, I always wanted to be a sorority girl. I was not a sorority girl going to college, but I always wanted to be one. So I've watched all like the sorority movies and Rush movies and things like that, and I think that they're super adorable. But this is a different spin on it. It was in the horror section, but I think it might be a thriller. I think there's only one more that I've actually already read. I think the rest are added to my TBR. This is Stephen Graham Jones. Here's the thing. I have loved Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones, which I guess I could have bought for my trophy collection because I don't own that one yet either. But everything else by this author I have... Oh, wait, no. There's one on audio only. It's called The Babysitter Lives. Oh. Look at that. The Babysitter Lives. So, does that count as one? I've listened to it. It was an audiobook exclusive at one point. But then the other one is Killer on the Road by Stephen Graham Jones. And it's like 2 stories in one. So, A Babysitter Lives, which I've read and loved. I think I gave it 4 stars. Then there's Killer on the Road. I think this is a road trip type of horror story. I generally don't love Stephen Graham Jones, but I did really enjoy A Babysitter Lives. It was wild. So I really wanted to own it, but then I also got this bonus story. And I've heard amazing things about this collection. I've also heard amazing things about Buffalo Hunter, something like that. I did not buy that one, clearly. I bought this one, but if I like this, then maybe this will be like me dipping my toes back into a Stephen Graham Jones book or a Stephen Graham Jones world. So we'll see. I'm scared for this. Then we have Before You Knew My Name by Jacqueline Bublitz. She may be dead. That doesn't mean her story is over. When she arrived in New York on her 18th birthday, carrying nothing but $600 and a stolen camera, Alice was looking for a fresh start. Now, just 1 month later, she is the city's latest Jane Doe. But this is not just another story about a dead girl. This is where her story starts. There's like a serial killer. That sounds so scrumptious. And this one, honestly, I might have let the hype on this one get to me because this one is a few years old, I think. I think it was like 2022. So it's like 4 years old. But when this first came out, everybody and their mom was talking about it. And I never jumped on that hype train, but I kind of want to. So I'm a little bit late to this party, but I invited myself. So there's You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Amenzi. I cannot say this author's name. I'm very sorry. But it says, Faya wants to learn how to be alive again. It's been 5 years since the accident that killed the love of her life, and she's almost a new person now. An artist with her own studio, sharing a brownstone apartment with her ride-or-die best friend, Joy, who insists it's time for Faye to ease back into the dating scene. Faye isn't ready for anything serious, but a steamy encounter at a rooftop party cascades into a whirlwind summer she could have never imagined. A luxury trip to a tropical island, decadent meals in the glamorous home of a celebrity chef, and a major curator who wants to launch her art career. I think this one might actually break me, but I am trying to read all the books that break my heart, that make me cry, that hurt me. Why? I don't know. And then we have 3 more books. These are the last 3 that I bought today. Let's start with the only one that I've already read that I get to add to my collection here. This is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This is dark. It's been a while since I've read it, but it's like sisters who have survived this attack. And I don't think that the sisters talk anymore. But this is kind of them, their sisterhood coming back, kind of. It's been more than 20 years since Claire and Lydia last spoke. Claire is the glamorous trophy wife of an Atlanta millionaire. Lydia, a single mom dating an ex-con, struggles to make ends meet, but neither has recovered from the disappearance of their sister Julia 2 decades earlier, and the shocking murder of Claire's husband brings the horror and heartbreak of the past roaring back. Wow. It was great. It's dark, and it's really brutal. It's really hard to read, but I liked it. Then I got this bookmark. It says True Crime Book Club because you never really know anyone ever. Okay, that's my bookmark. Then these 2 are added to my TBR because why not? There's The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a dystopian, I think. Environmental disasters and declining birth rates have led to a second American Civil War. The result is the rise of the Republic of Gilead, a totalitarian rage that enforces rigid social rules and enslaves the few remaining fertile women. I think it's like a woman dystopian type thing, and I've heard amazing things. It's a classic, and I really want to read it soon, so I only picked books that I actually am excited to read. Okay? And the last one is Daisy Jones and the Six. This was solely the only reason I got Daisy Jones and the Six was because I read The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead, or I'm currently reading it. I am living for this book. I'm loving this book. So I had to get Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six, because I feel like they're going to be in the same vein. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.